During our Monday stream, the Florida Panthers were inches from being down 3-1 to Washington. Garnett Hathaway's empty net bid just missed Sam Reinhart. Washington comes back, ties it, wins it in overtime. Biz, before we get to the game tonight, I mean, I know you and talk arguing the other night. Should he have gone for that? Should he have played it safe? What was the deal on that?
Okay, so it's hard for me to argue with Talk because he's like a borderline Hall of Famer. 3 times Stanley, and beat the fuck it. There's a lot going against me here, folks. So we've seen a few of these empty netters so far. 2 by St. Louis, right? Perron ended up shooting it all the way down the ice, scoring. Same with Tarasenko in 2 games where they were able to seal the victory with a couple minutes left, and they took the shot. They risked it. I also look at the situation in Washington against Florida a little bit differently for 2 reasons. If you watch the play again, Ekblad's in the direct line of the net. So from a shooter standpoint, like it's a little bit more distracting than just having the wide open space. And if you look where he was on the ice compared to where Ekblad was, and he did not have a good gap on him, I would say Hathaway was barely past the tops of the circles. And then the other defenseman was pinched in a little bit on the board side. So he has an entire gap area, and he's also not a skilled guy like those other 2 guys I mentioned. I'd bet my hard-earned money on the skill guy scoring from 150 feet than maybe the fourth liners. So he could just chip it to where the red line is and then create a foot race with Ekblad. And then in the meantime, his teammates, where they, on the above, they have the times in which they've been on the ice. Most of the line out there had been out for a minute. So you're just trying to live the fight another day and get the change. And then also in the fact that you're also chipping it to the board side, the perfect place to get that change. That's where you want to place the puck when you're going for that change, right? And I'm not saying you're going to get all 5 guys off the ice for Washington, but at least you're going to get 2 or 3 fresh bodies on. You go for it. They end up losing the draw. And what happens? Florida scores their only man advantage goal of the entire series. They're 0 for 15 at this point now, and they give up that empty net goal. I think it's a bonehead play. Talkett says all the skill guys and all the guys who won shit were texting him and saying, I agree with you. You fucking end it there. Where I'm like, although I think that Gretz agreed with me. So when you get Gretzky on your side, you're like, well, it outweighs like basically the rest of the Hall of Fame.
Oh, well, Oates agreed with me.
What they're teaching the kids now is that if it's more than 20 seconds on the clock, go for the goal, because even if you chip it out, they're going to come back with it and shove it down your throat with a chance anyway. So if you have the chance, it's the stats. There's numbers. I'm not the stat guy that you with, but that's, I know what the coaches at every level now are teaching them. Definitely at the NHL, they're telling them if you get a chance, end it. And yeah, maybe that was a different situation. You're out there for a long time, but if you've been getting told, yeah, try to end it, you do it out of
every team switched to this. Every single team.
That's fair. But you know what also happened? You know, when they do the shift in baseball, we were at the ball game the other day.
Illegal now, I think.
No, next year it's going to be illegal. Okay. So this Hall of Famer, he was in the booth. I want to say his last name was Jones. He's retired now, but still works for the organization.
Chipper Jones.
No, it wasn't Chipper Jones. Maybe I got the fucking name wrong, but he was a center fielder for the Braves.
Andrew Jones.
Maybe. Okay, so Andrew Jones. And his kid's going to go first overall in the MLB
Yeah, that's
draft.
Andrew Jones.
Okay,
that's
there
Andrew
you go.
Jones.
Thank you.
I think he hit home runs in the World Series. So 19.
So they were doing the shift, and I'm like, why don't they just bunt it to the open space? And he goes, honestly, buddy, they stopped teaching it. These kids don't do it. It's like all they want to do is hit. And so he went back to the old school way. And then that's what Gretzky referred to. He goes, I'm fucking old school on that. You don't fucking go for that empty net and create the icing. You chip it into that open space. You create the foot race, and at least you get fresh bodies on the ice. And if you have a good enough forecheck or neutral zone forecheck, you don't allow them easy access to the zone, and you even force them to dump it in and then fucking right back out. Like, what do you mean? You've been fucking playing the whole game like that. So I don't know. I completely disagree. It's a great argument to have. And I think what was the other argument we had last week about the NHL and decision-making?
Too many pinches or bad pinches.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that was the one. But this one, obviously a little bit more debatable. And I don't know.
This one is similar to, like, all right, correct me if I'm wrong, baseball, they don't bunt anymore. I know you just said bunt. No.
Yeah.
I know you just
I actually thought you were like chirping me for my analogy.
No, because you're talking about when the wide open, the third baseman's in there. I'm talking, they don't even do it to advance the runner from first to second to give up an out. No. It's kind of similar in terms of they looked at stats and they decided that going to end it is the thing. The argument is what you said is legit because maybe if it's game 7 of the Cup final, you're not going for it. Right. And I know it's like crazy to say because this is the playoffs, but I just think the game has changed and guys are now not even thinking twice, like Merle said.
So basically, I'm Don Cherry of the podcast. I'm just a fucking old talking head. Don't you be going for the empty net.
No, I mean, it could happen.
You people better not be going for the empty net.
Either way, huge swing for the Caps. But then tonight, Wednesday night, they get a 3-0 lead. Look like they're back on the catbird seat. Florida, I think, with 29 comebacks this season, they end up coming back down 3-0, end up winning the game 5-3. Carter Verhaeghe, this kid's been unreal so far. I think he's got 5 or 6 goals, had 5 points tonight. Giroux sealed it with the empty netter. Biz, were you able to catch much of this game tonight?
Yeah, so one quick thing we glanced over was the Oshie hit. Did you guys want to go into it or not?
I think it's been long enough now where we can kind of all agree after no discipline, it was a clean hockey hit that unfortunately Bennett's stick was up kind of like vertical in front of his face. Oshie caught him in the chest, the stick, and what looked like his shoulder after rubbed into him, and it was a huge hit. I got nothing else to say besides playoff hockey.
Playoff hit, playoff hockey. Oshie's been an absolute fucking beast. 2 goals in this one that you just mentioned, RA. But look at,
I think he just had 1, didn't he? Or no, did he have 2 tonight?
Yeah, he had 2 tonight. Yeah.
Shit, I'm looking at game. I'm sorry, buddy.
No worries, buddy. No worries.
We all make mistakes.
We all make mistakes. I go for the empty netter when the fucking goalie's up. But I'm wrong. I said that the comeback Cats, who did it 29 times in the regular season, set an NHL record. I said you can't play like that and do it in playoffs. Well, what do? They go down 2-1. They score the fucking 6-on-5 goal. They go down 3-0. And much like the Penguins series, I thought this thing was wrapped up and done. I thought they were toasted, at least in this game. And then they ended up fucking running into Carl Verhaeghe. Is it Carl Verhaeghe?
Carter.
Let's start calling him Carl.
Attaboy, Carl. Buddy, he's been the best player for the Florida Panthers. And if you watch that game, like he put the team on his back. That goal that he scored off that Barkov pass, did you see that hustle that he had down the ice? He blew by a defenseman that was a zone ahead of him. And the plays he's making and in a timely fashion, like if he doesn't get that first one, who the fuck knows? So he got them going in game 5, and the comeback Cats do it again. And I'm wearing the big fat fucking L on my forehead.
There's like 6. Did you say that 6th 3-goal comeback of the season? That's nuts. That's when you count that many, you're down 3 goals. You're usually packing it in. You're like, oh, we don't have it tonight. To do that 6 different times is crazy.
Yeah, I'm now they're up 3-2, man. Like I said, that missed empty net, an absolutely huge swing in the playoffs. Probably the biggest swing of the playoffs thus far, right? It's got to be.
And
right?
I got to give credit to Whit. We were over in New Jersey, so we could live bet on the Barstool app.
Yep.
And we put in a live bet on the Panthers. It hits, and PFT wants to strangle.
Yeah, PFT said I was responsible for the loss. I said I'm rooting for the Caps, buddy. I'll root for them once it goes to OT. But I had this vibe. I was buzzing that night gambling. I knew Pittsburgh was going to win, and I said Florida's going to tie this thing up. We got good odds on that. Yeah. Barstool Sportsbook, and we hit it up, and then PFT still is mad.
Much like some of those Edmonton stats you rattled off, I would definitely say that the Florida Panthers would be down the series if you told me they would be 0 for 15 on the power play to start. That is the one thing that got it over the hump for them this year, and the fact that they just can't figure it out. And Whit, was it you who mentioned? I ended up saying it on the broadcast. You said towards the end of the year they had the 5-man forward unit, and then when playoffs came around and Ekblad was back in the lineup, he's now in that defensive role there. So it's 1D 4 forwards.
But then I think they went back, didn't they, Merv? Didn't we notice that they went back to 5 forwards?
Yeah, he was on it at one point.
I don't know what exactly is going on. It's hard to keep up, you know what I mean, with all these games. But the fact that the power play started that slow is crazy, and it's almost unacceptable. It's like you cannot produce at a clip like they were and have it go that cold that quick. Because when you look back, if they are to somehow lose this series, which I don't think they will at this point, but you won't win next round without this power play getting better.
That's why I think that they're going to end up scoring some power play goals in game 6. They're going to wrap the thing up. And then all of a sudden they're going to get over that little bit of adversity at the beginning, and then they're going to start to roll.